welcome to whatever. I don't know. We're just going live because I have cell signal here. So let's see if this gets us anything happening. Anybody gonna tune in and say, "Hey, what are you doing there in that Walmart parking lot?" Let's share this. Hello, hello. How is it going? We are live in the Walmart parking lot, getting honked at by geese. Honk, honk, honk. Honk, honk, honk. Howdy, howdy. Sorry, I'm posting the links. Since this is all a bit ad hoc this morning, once again, I didn't really have a chance to prepare. Just kind of going live as quick as I can to try to build up a little bit more steam here. The last hotel we got into was overrun with cockroaches, and it totally blew up my autoimmune disorder. My brain was fried, something awful. I was unable to work. Also, their internet sucked, so I couldn't even do live streams like this. I didn't even have enough cell signal to do like I'm doing here and do a mobile stream. So here we are in the Walmart parking lot. Hey, Josh, I'll be your daddy. If you want to, you want to toss me a couple bucks, I'll come out of retirement. I used to, I was a BDSM sex worker for a while. Oh no, this isn't marijuana. This is just tobacco. But I do have some dabs in there. I do use dabs to keep my BPD in check. Well, thank you for the compliment, Joshua. I appreciate that. And calling me a baby boy. Oh my goodness, I am 39 years old. I'm gonna be 40 soon. Baby boy. You might be still my heart. I'm actually like kind of glad to start looking old. I've been looking too young too long to be this disabled. I got this broken ass spine. I got to wear this brace for. I got this autoimmune disorder. I got to be wearing this thing most of the time for. But so I've had an old body on the inside since my early 20s. I'm finally starting to get the crow's feet and whatnot and start looking like an old person. And I'm ready for it. I need people to treat me old because I feel old. Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of it just has to do with I spent a decade laid up in bed, barely ever going outside, so didn't get a lot of sunlight on me. Keeps the skin looking fresh, you know. Despite all of my many skin ailments and conditions, crazy dermatitis and whatnot, I gotta use special shampoos and everything, which is gonna be a big problem soon, considering I am in a van in a Walmart parking lot. Doot 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 doot. It really sucks. It's not so hot. Doot 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 doot. Yeah. So I don't have anywhere I can take a shower today, which I really need to. With all of my medical issues, I really shouldn't be out here breathing the air this much, but the pollen count isn't too bad right now. And I definitely don't want to smoke up the U-Haul van before I turn it back in and have them try to charge me for having smoked in it or whatever. I had actually quit nicotine for several years before I got the long COVID, and it messed up my immune system. And the nicotine, it turns out, this is the running theory at least, and it seems to help with me at least, is that nicotine has a stronger binding affinity with your acetylcholine receptors that the spike proteins bind into. So when I do some nicotine, I actually got back onto the nicotine using the patches initially. I was doing like half of a nicotine patch every day, but they really irritated my skin and were making me sweat where I put them on and whatnot. So I ended up switching over to pipes and cigars. But the nicotine really does seem to help with my long COVID issues. When I am having flares and whatnot, if I hit my pipe, it seems to help settle things down. Crazy, but I mean, looking into it, the science behind it kind of makes sense. A lot of the long COVID issues seem to be by spike proteins getting lodged in your acetylcholine receptors, and when I hit the nicotine, it seems like it's got a stronger binding affinity, so it's knocking them loose, and I'm a lot more functional when I smoke my pipe. So I guess give me the lung cancer. It's better than being non-functional from long COVID. Let's go. Woohoo! The problem with smoking a pipe while trying to do a live stream is that a live stream generally involves you running your mouth constantly, and smoking a pipe involves you not doing that. But I can generally stand the outdoor environment with the pollen and dust and all that sort of stuff longer while I'm smoking, which seems really weird, but once again, weird medical shit. Maybe it's just because half of the air I'm breathing is getting combusted and it's destroying all the pollen. Oop, I never did post this. I got caught up talking to y'all. Y'all started complimenting me and it threw me off. People calling me handsome. What are y'all thinking? Calling me handsome. Y'all ain't supposed to be doing that. That ain't right. Streaming live from the Walmart parking lot. There we go. That's a post on the blue sky. Let's go toss out some links on some old Discords. See if we can't pull in some more people. Do 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 Discord. Do 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 do. Do 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 Discord. Do 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 Discord. Do 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 do. Ah yeah. We're gonna post these links all over. Oh yeah. I'm sorry that this is boring. Alrighty. I could pay a little bit more attention to y'all right now if you want. I think I've sent this off on a couple of places here. That'll do. Alright. How's everybody doing today? I'm feeling a lot better than I was yesterday, man. Waking up in that damn hotel overrun with cockroaches was killing me. Like, just 2 nights in there and I was about to die. I was waking up just like my whole body aching,
chest pain, my skin burning, my lips burning, just like I was starting to get sores on my skin again. You can see this big old thing on my nose. It's just from like 2 days of being in a dirty environment that aggravates my autoimmune disorder. Now I had to get out of there. I couldn't work, I couldn't stream. Well, I couldn't stream because their internet sucked also, but I was also just sick as hell, man. I keep saying to everybody, all I need is a clean and quiet place to work, and I will work. You see me out here working, and every minute that I am functional, I am up on that beat. I'm thinking maybe we'll make some puppets here in the Walmart parking lot. Would y'all like that? See me make a puppet? I was watching some fashion history videos, and I was thinking maybe we'll try to do something a little more like complicated or like aristocratic, you know, make up a real bougie character, somebody with like a big ball gown or something, somebody to be, you know, really a real rich bitch, you know. But I've got all the puppet making materials and stuff in here. Here, I'll pick you up. We'll go back here. And hold on a second. I got to get the key out. Make sure my guitar doesn't fall over when I open the door. Come on. Go over here. Ooh. That's not very secure, but it'll do for the moment. Ooh. Maybe not. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's see, where can I stick y'all that you'll stick? Well, can I get y'all on any of this? Stick there. Of course there ain't no steel where I need you. Well, maybe we'll just go up inside here. Will that work? Nope. No. Okay, here we go. We can do this. There we go. All right. Well, I know that wasn't very great from an audio-visual experience perspective. Lost half of the people with the random shaking and jiggling around and whatnot. Let me put this pipe away. I'm done with this mess for the moment. Dump this out. Okay. Now, where did I put the jar? Here it is. All right. See some of the puppets peeking out over here. There's Phineas. Say hey, Penny. Doo-doo-doo. What's this telling me it's time for? Oh, it's time for me to take some medicine. I will be right back.
This is gonna take me just a second. Measure out. Damn it, where am I? Well, I thought it was going to take just a second. Where the hell did I stick the damn bag? Okay, great. Oh, here it is. How'd you get over here? Sorry about the delays, folks. We're a bit discombobulated this morning. Feeling better after being away from the Roach Hotel, but still not exactly 100% functional here. I'll come back over in frame. Pop, pop, pop. How's it going? Whoo! This right here is gonna make me a little bit fuzzy-headed for about 5 minutes, but then I will be more functional. I keep taking this. Deal with the kidney pain. Gives me a little flare when I take it, but they generally pass quick, and it's necessary. All right. I should perk up there in a second. Let's see. Let's look at that. Okay. The extended stay hotel sent me a coupon code that says save up to 50% if you book now with this code. Well, I don't have enough to book a hotel room right now, which is part of why I'm trying to do this live stream. to get myself out of this van and into a hotel. Because boy, sleeping in a van is not good for me. Of course, dirty hotels are also not good for me. Even worse for me, it turns out, in some cases. But, yeah. Yep, I'm gonna be a little bit of a space cadet for a minute here until this medicine kicks in. It should only be like 3 minutes or so. I'll start perking up a little bit more again. But whenever I take it, I kind of do like a 5-minute fade down and then come back up. Oof. Oh, I gotta take these boots off. They're hurting my feet. Let's see. I need to rearrange this so I can sit down comfortably. My back is killing me. There's all this crouching mess. Whoop. Actually, yes, phone. I did forget to take my meds, thank you. Bag, where are you? I'm losing everything. There it is. Okay. Oof. Let's slide you over a little bit. There we go. How's that? That's a little bit better. And if I let's take some of this up here. I can even lean back comfortably. Ah. There we go. Whew. Okay, meds. Take meds. Must take meds. Okay. I know this is all wonderfully thrilling for you all. Just massive excitement to watch me sit here and take some pills. I don't know. I'm at heart a crowd worker. I do my best work bouncing off people in the audience. So when y'all just keep shuffling in and shuffling out and not saying nothing, the stream kind of degrades in quality, you know? And then we start degrading in numbers. And the algorithm starts cranking down. And it all goes to hell! What are we gonna do? I don't know. gonna take this damn thing off for a bit. It's hurting my neck. Oh man. I don't know. I'm kind of split on whether to try to start doing work in the back of this van or not, you know? I don't want to start pulling all this stuff out and then all of a sudden have to move, you know? I'd really like to just get into a hotel room and unpack all this mess. Well, not unpack. I keep it mostly packed most of the time now, after as many times as I've suddenly had to change which location I'm in unexpectedly. But I'd like to get it out of this van and into a room where I can actually like set up a workstation properly and the computer and yeah, do all that sort of stuff. Whew. Hello, how's it going? I need to pull the chat up on this phone because I can't really see it the way the lighting is in here. Hold on, let me pull this up so I can see what y'all are saying. Because it's a little bit too far away from my bad old eyes. There we go. Hello, Nicole David. How are y'all doing this morning? I've been having a rough couple of days. Is there a way I can... I need to change this so it's not eating up my... Oops. I didn't mean to do that. This is probably going to destroy my bandwidth though. Maybe I should not do that. Oh yeah, it's relatively nice out. Having the doors open like this, I'm gonna have to put this thing back on soon. I'm starting to get that gritty feeling on my teeth from breathing in the pollen. The trees are starting to wake up. I'm about to start losing my brains from breathing in too many allergens. Hello. Let me scoot you over a little maybe, if I can see better. There we go. The sun is like creeping in the door, and as it does, the lighting was making it hard to see the chat. Is there some way I can... Man, I really wish I could change the chat font. That's really tiny and hard to read. Oh well. How's everybody doing today? We're stuck in a van and it's really lame. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Oh man, I'm suddenly getting like cricks in my neck. Probably from sleeping on that low broken cot in the cold last night. My screwed up musculoskeletal system does not approve. Oh, Vicky? Yeah. Ooh, don't get caught up, Vic. Come on. This is Vicky Vixen. She was one of my earlier stick puppets. She needs a bit of cleaning up. She got some dirt all over her ears, but we might end up needing to resurface these with a new piece of velour paper. We've got a whole cast of characters over here that I've been making. This is Detective Carver Canis. He's a wolf. And let's see who else we got here. We got this is Phineas Flush and Franny Flea. Hey, what you guys doing over there? How's it going? You guys having a good morning? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to get back on my feet. Not long. I just started making the puppets a couple of months ago, really. I'm kind of like expanding into new territory. Well, I've been an entertainer of various sorts off and on throughout my life. Like when I was young, I was in a number of metal bands, mostly as a lead singer, sometimes an instrumentalist. And I worked in like middle and high school. I was in drama department. I did a little bit of acting, but I mostly did like tech stuff, you know, making props and scenery, running the lights and sound, all that sort of thing. And then in my early 20s, I was doing parkour, and I fell off the third story of a parking deck and broke my spine. And that screwed me all sorts of up. I ended up addicted to opiates without medical insurance, like severely depressed, all this sort of mess. And I ended up laid up in bed for like a decade or so, just like barely able to get out of bed. And then mostly the biggest problem was like severe depression and anxiety. And then about 2 years ago, I caught me some COVID, and it totally screwed up my autoimmune system. So I have to wear this thing most of the time, trying to avoid pollen and all that crap. But it also burned all the depression and anxiety out of my brain. And all of a sudden I'm like, I'm ready to work. I'm ready to do things. I'm ready to get back into the world. And I've been like trying to get my shit together ever since. But I keep getting set back by not having a clean and quiet place to work in. For the first like year and a half, I was living in my dad's place, which he had rapid declining dementia, and it was just overrun with mold, and the mold just killed me. I was constantly just buried in brain fog and having skin problems, and like I ended up having to I had the only clean room in the house, and I had to set up like an airlock to go in and out, and like yeah, it's been a life. it's been wild, you know? Like, and I'm just trying to like scrape myself together to the point where I can like get it into a coherent format and like, you know, tell the story and whatnot. But I keep getting knocked back by not having a clean, quiet place to work. After I eventually left my dad's house, went into a hotel, and was doing okay for a little while. Well, I mean, I'm doing what I can. I got bounced out to a hotel that was doing okay, but I couldn't make enough money fast enough to keep that going, and I ended up moving into a tent. And I pitched my tent a few places. I was in this yard of some guy's house, but his house was full of a bunch of drunk, crazy people. And then I ended up at my mother's house in her yard, which is also full of a bunch of drunk, crazy people. Drunk, crazy, racist people. And I've been stuck there in their yard for like 6 months now in a tent, and like only kind of marginally functional. Like I was doing relatively well for a while during the winter before the pollen started coming in, until I broke my finger. I broke this finger trying to put thermal tarps on the tent, and then I was so I couldn't work on the puppets anymore. With my whole left hand was just totally fucked. So for a couple of months, the whole puppet thing was kind of put on hold, and I couldn't, like, the plan had been, when my dad's house sold, because he passed in November. That's a whole other side story about me trying to get him the care he needed and my whole family ignoring me, and him going, them putting him into the wrong type of care facility, and then he broke his hip, and the surgery he didn't recover from. So yeah. Oh yeah, I'm down with that for sure. I love inspiring people, collaborating with people. I'm always trying to find people to collab with. If you want to hop onto my Discord, there's a link in the description. Like, I'm always trying to work with people. Like, that's part of the problem that has set me back so far, is I've been spending a lot of the time while I was in the tent, I was really hung up on working with folks, and like, I don't know, I didn't want to do anything by myself. I was like, I want this to be a collaborative effort. I want to, you know, have a community doing things together. And part of the problem is, like, people don't really want to sign on to like do stuff with you when you haven't proven that you can do anything yet. And since like all of my old stuff from like back when I was a singer or doing drama club, like all that's mostly before everything was on the internet. I can't really find evidence of it all. So I had to like build up something of a portfolio or whatever, you know, start doing some videos and whatnot. But it's been a struggle, especially since the pollen came in. Oh, my name's Willow Draven. Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking about renaming the channel to something, I don't know, maybe something related to puppets, or something that more sounds like it's, well, I'm trying to launch a show, so we might end up renaming the channel to the name of the show, which we haven't really decided on. We've got a working title, but I don't like the working title. It's just something I picked. And I'm kind of jumping all around here, but like I was saying, I was trying to do a big collaborative thing and was having a lot of trouble getting anybody to want to work with me. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. So for like 2 years, I was trying to start up this thing called Bun Bun News, which, that's why the rabbit, I've got some other smaller little stick rabbits in there too. And the idea was it was going to be like a collaborative improv show where we would improvise. Like, I was going to write some software that generated news headlines in a fictional universe I had created, and we would improvise we would read the headline and then improvise details of it on a news broadcast using the puppets. The idea was it was going to be a workers-owned cooperative news station set in the 1970s, but I never really had a lot of luck getting that off the ground without anybody else jumping in on it. So I ended up putting that on hiatus a little while after I broke my finger. Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that. But we've kind of switched focus now. And what we're trying to do is get a scripted lo-fi horror puppet show going, kind of like a, you know, Cthulhu, H.P. Lovecraft, SCP sort of, Twin Peaks sort of thing, you know, like weird out there horror stuff, but like comedically done, because we're doing it with goofy puppets, you know. I've got a writer I'm working with, and some voice actors and a musician that have signed on to help me with the project. But you know, the housing situation has become an issue. I was like I was saying earlier, I was doing okay in a hotel, and then I got bounced into the tent, broke my finger, and then the pollen started coming in, and it's impossible to keep pollen out of a tent, you know? So my functionality started like really dropping off. And then the other, like, well, about a week and a half ago now, my stepdad started going off on this really racist rant about the Middle East and all this stuff, and we got into it. And you know, he started saying all this shit, and then the next morning when I go in there to get my laundry out of the dryer, he had thrown it all over the house, and was like comes running out of the living room. I had said something like, man, I'm gonna have to wash this again. He says, not in my house, and comes out and starts shoving me out the door, trying to fight me and stuff, and the cops get called and all this mess. And naturally, even though I'd been living there for 6 months with his permission, so I'm technically a legal resident, they should have had to do a you know, formal eviction process to remove me. But because the cops don't care about, you know, ethics or laws or anything, they just booted me off the property. And I've managed to like barely keep myself in hotels doing crowdfunding since then. And I was really doing a lot more functional for the first week, actually like 10 days or so after I left the tent. I moved into a pretty nice clean hotel and was doing well there. But then they suddenly kicked me out. They said, oh, well, we only let people stay so long, and you've been here the maximum time, so you've got to go. And so I moved to another hotel, and it was overrun with cockroaches, and it made me so sick. I was so sick the last 2 days. I was starting to have like pains in my chest, my lips were burning, my skin was itching and crawling, like my skin was starting to act up. You see the red spot on my nose, I was starting to get sores on my skin. It was bad. I really react badly to cockroaches. That's one of the things that was in my dad's house that was killing me while I was in there, that kept me from being functional, is it had those German roaches too. So yeah, being in that hotel really messed me up. I barely managed to scrape up enough money that I was able to check out, and with the help of my 14-year-old, pack up all my stuff into the U-Haul and get out of there. But I have not been able to raise enough money to, you know, get another hotel room, So I had to sleep in the U-Haul last night, which is less than optimal with a broken spine and a severe autoimmune disorder. So that's where we are now, the back of a U-Haul. Okay, yeah, sorry, I just figured I'd bring you up to speed. Thank you for subscribing. Talk to you later. Well, if nothing else, that got the whole story out relatively concisely. Maybe I can clip that out and use it somehow. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, it's time for me to do... Oh, I forgot to log that. Oh, bonk. Alrighty. So, thus is the story so far. That is how things have gone. How they're gonna go. What are we gonna do? Oh, we don't know. Oh, baby. Can't you help us escape this fate? Oh, darling, is it just too late? We've gotta raise enough to raise a life. We've got to raise enough to find a life for everyone. Damn, this thing clogged up again. Alrighty then, ladies and germs. Are you ready to learn? Are you ready to burn in the pits of fire and hell? Are you ready to get yourself a Dell? Oh boy, buddy, this is great news. We're gonna get ours too. We're screwed. We're screwed like blue. Oh no. Well. Well, the story time seemed to go well. Should I tell another story? What stories do I got to tell? I could ramble a bit about my time in Africa. That was interesting. I was about the same age Delilah is now, about 14. And we were going over to Africa to help my sister start up a, well, for her wedding, mostly, I think is why, the family agreed to go over there. But we also did some work while we were there helping her set up a center for disabled women to find work in Burkina Faso, over in Ouagadougou. Or was it? No, I think the center was actually in Bobo Dioulasso, but we spent most of our time in Ouagadougou while we were there, at least while we were in the cities. We did spend a lot of time just kind of like out wandering around, going to various towns and villages and doing white people safari crap, you know. That was a whole thing, man. We went out on a safari, you know, had a guide take us out through a game park, and we went out and we saw some elephants. We're standing out there watching these elephants, and they're kind of like standing around grazing, and then a few of them turn and start like making their way towards us, and we're like watching, we're like, oh. And we go to like ask the guide, like, hey, should we leave? And he is gone. He is like running flat out back to the Jeep. He didn't say nothing. He just like up and was like, forget y'all, I'm living. And he took off. He didn't say run white people run. He was just like, y'all. He took the hell off. But I mean, I don't blame him. I probably would have done the same thing too. Like, oh hell no, I ain't about to get stampeded by an elephant. But I mean, we all made it obviously, but that was kind of funny in retrospect. Yeah, man. But yeah, I was like 14. Well, a lot of crazy shit happened when we were in Burkina Faso. That's mostly where we were. We traveled a little bit to the various adjoining countries while we were there. We were there for like a month or two. And yeah, we got trapped in the desert because of a flood. That was exciting. We were riding around in this beat up old van. About this size van, actually, maybe a little longer. We called it Toy Broca, old beat up Toyota van. And it yeah, we in Burkina Faso, at least back when we were there in the 90s, it a lot of the roads going out in the country, they don't build bridges because the rivers only run, you know, the rivers and creeks only run like partially during the rainy season. So they've just got causeways that run along the bed. So when it is wet, what you got to do is, you know, put all your stuff on top of the van and push it through the water. So we did that, and our driver forgot to remove the air filter, so the engine got soaked. So the filter got soaked, and the van wouldn't start. And, you know, out on those dusty roads, you don't want to run your engine without an air filter. That's a bad idea. So we had to sit there overnight on the side of the road, waiting for the filter to dry in the van. That was fun. I had an allergic reaction to my anti-malaria medication while I was there. Had to find a doctor to figure out what was going on with me and write me a new prescription for some different anti-malaria meds. Yeah, that was an experience. Yeah, I've thought about maybe going back to Burkina Faso a couple of times. My sister's husband's family is all there. I mean, that's why she was having her wedding there. She was marrying somebody from Burkina Faso, not just having like a destination wedding or whatever. She worked for the UN and a bunch of aid organizations and stuff like that. So she was always traveling all over the world, speaks half a dozen languages, all that sort of thing. So yeah, her husband's from Burkina Faso. She wasn't just flying to Africa to have a wedding there randomly. But yeah, I get on pretty well with him. So, and his family and whatnot. So I've considered going back to Africa, but I don't know. I haven't been able to keep up with it as much as I used to, but from what I understand, things have been really chaotic in Burkina Faso lately. But then again, look where we are in America. Sitting in the back of a U-Haul van in a Walmart parking lot with nowhere to go. Okay, speaking of which, I need to boost my mutual aid requests. Let's, well, I'm probably gonna have to extend the U-Haul. Uh, Let me see if I can do this. One, 2, 6, 1. Okay. Sorry, doing some necessary necessary paperwork. Okay, let me make sure that's. Oh wait. Okay, I've extended the cargo van for 24 hours. So I have it until 10 a.m. tomorrow. Oh, hey. Oh, well, what? That's a bit weird, but whatever. I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna get me demonetized. I'm not monetized to begin with. It's not gonna get me, in trouble with YouTube, but I'm not gonna kick you for being weird in the chat. That's engagement, baby. Woo! As long as you're not harassing other people, whatever, I'll deal with it for now. I don't know what to do. All right. Well, I extended the van for another 24 hours, but that has totally wiped out my funds. Alrighty, I'm back again. Everybody tell your friends. Let's see, let's look at the old schedule. Alright, man, I don't know. What should I do? I don't really feel like pulling out all the materials and trying to puppet craft right now. And I'm starting to get the brain fuzzies from breathing in the pollen. I can close up the van and crank it up and get my fan running with the filter and the air conditioning going and whatnot, but then I'm burning gas that I gotta replace when I turn this thing in. Ugh, my throat. Yeah, the air's starting to mess with me. Also, having the van running, it's loud, you know, probably gonna make a bunch of noise, vibration. Everybody hates bad audio. We're already not running with my mic. I could get my mic out. I probably should get my mic out. Let's get my mic out. but it might be a new one. Cables in here, at least. There's that. Yeah, I think it's in. Don't get all tore up, Carver. Get access here without pulling the whole damn bag out. Just pushing deep. Is it what I wanted to do with that? Let's get there. There we go. All right, there's that. This stuff is all all right. Hello. Sorry for the brief intermission there. Oh, what is that? A monocle emoji? Yeah. Probably wondering what the hell was going on. I was digging around for my mic and audio interface. Try to get y'all some better sound. Hello. Hello, does this sound better? Can you hear me? Is the audio okay? Testing 1 2 1 2 check. Do I need to turn this up, down? Well, it's all the way up, so hopefully I don't need to turn it up, but do I need to turn it down? Okay, excellent. That should sound a little bit better than just using the cell phone microphone clamped with the cell phone resting on the wood beam in the side of the U-Haul. Yeah. How are you doing this morning? I just extended my U-Haul rental, so I have this U-Haul for another 24 hours. Actually, more like 25 3/4. U-Haul, sweet U-Haul. I'm not really sure what I'm doing at the moment. I'm live streaming, trying to crowdfund so I can upgrade this U-Haul to a hotel room. What I'm doing in general with my life, aside from scrambling to survive in, late stage capitalism, is puppet shows. I've been making puppets. Here's another one. This is Detector Garvic Danis. Arr. I've got a whole cast and crew over here. This is incomplete, but we've got more people in here. Whoop, Mallory, your bathing suit's getting messed up. This is Mallory Mastoderm. I might not be doing the voices for all of these, and any voices that I am doing for them might not be canonical in any videos that they may be appearing in the future. We're working on trying to do a scripted lo-fi horror show with kind of like, H.P. Lovecraft, SCP, Twin Peaks, that sort of, vibe. Oh man, my phone is giving me the old low battery. That's not great. I might have to crank the van up after all. And of course, because the phone only has the one USB port, I can't charge it and use my my audio interface at the same time. So yeah, darn it. We'll go for a few more minutes with the good mic before I plug in. We're at 20%. That should give us a little bit of time. I don't feel like standing up again yet, so we'll go like 5 more minutes unless it starts like really yelling at me. But then I'll go crank the van and plug this in, and probably have to switch positions since unless my USB extension cord is in here, which it might be. It is. Let's see if I can get this USB cord to reach all the way from the hub over to here. Okay, I guess I'm getting up and moving after all. At least now with the microphone, I can take you with me. I can't see what you're saying in response, but I can keep making a bunch of noise. Talking to myself while I mess around with chords. Massively entertaining content. We've got the best content on the 7 seas. Okay. Wow, that'll barely work. It's gonna be running clear across the middle of the air, but it'll do. Okay, I'm gonna set you down and go crank the van up. I'll be right back. Whoop. Oh, come on. Stay, phone. Oh, man. It's really not wanting to. This worked when there wasn't any tension. Okay. There. As long as I don't touch it, I think it'll be fine. All right. Let's bring our little puppet friends in here so they're on camera. They're the hook here, right? People aren't here to see me, even if somebody did call me handsome earlier, and then some weirdo came in saying they were edging, watching me, but I still don't think that's what people are really looking for. Oop. Let me get the rest of you guys over here. There. That's most of them. Oop, nope, that didn't work. Anyway, sit there, Mallory. Okay. Let me reorganize, or I did this all. All right, there we go. Got my air filter on my box fan. Sorry, that probably is making the noise bad. Oh. But, yep. Significant degradation in audio quality, but sacrifices must be made for the phone's battery. I think I lost everybody there. Well, we'd met the night before at a party at the fort. There was cheap beer and a bonfire, lots of kids and liquor and Twister on the dance floor. It was fate when our eyes first met. I broke out in a sweat when she kissed me on the rooftops. I nearly died, and I could have right then without regret. We went exploring the abandoned factories. I got nervous and wanted to leave. She called me godless and laughed while I complained. I turned for a second and she'd run away. And suddenly there were flashlights and shouts from the guards. Well, the cops stole my shoelaces, but you stole my heart. 6 months passed till we met again, 10 feet from the security fence. Bullets were flying and I could hardly see. The tear gas clouds were so dense. But she spotted me through my mask right before the concussion blast. And we ran through the streets till there was nowhere to go. And the riot cops were moving in fast. They took our puppets first, and then they took our food. I turned for a second, and they'd snatched you. The tasers were brutal, and the water cannons cold as hell. The memory of her kept me warm in my cell. Her grappling hook ripped a piece of the fence, and her smile tore me apart. Well, the cops stole my shoelaces, but you stole my heart. Good night.